All right, so it looks like on one side we got Mo Moja, Hachiman, Kamazats, Scylla, Hunbats. Our team's got Bacchus, Merlin, Cullen, Ratowsker, and Terra. Hmm. I would have to get the draft to blue team. Moja and Hunbats are kind of scary. Moja's like one of the best supports in the game right now. His spam abilities on it's kind of crazy. Now we're just waiting for the game to start. What's happening with Scylla right now? You see that? What on earth? It's horrifying. I wonder if Scylla's so scary. He gets a 10 out of 10 for me for using that skin too. And for those of you out there who don't know what this is the Collegiate Prospect game of Season 2. This is going to be basically your newcomers coming into the next season. And a lot of the captains for these franchise teams are going to be looking at these players, checking them out, see who's good, see who isn't, and check out playstyles as well. Playstyles will be super important because you can draft a good player, but if their playstyle doesn't fit with your team, it's just not going to work. One issue I have with red team is that they don't have any peel for this Hera Merlin. This Hunbats and this Camazotz are going to run amok in the back line. It's going to be pretty bad. If this Cullen and Rat can really just dive this Scylla and this Hachiman and get some nice kills off them, then maybe this is a winnable game. But that's just comp dependent.
Holy shit. Whew. I got back just in time.
Hasn't started yet. So looking at the drafts, who would you give it to?
Are you talking to me? Because I was literally not here for it, so give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Actually look over everything. Huh. I'm going to give it to blue team.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. If you just look at their team, you see the emoji, you see the Hunbats, kind of like
Yeah, that's
terrifies
literally
me.
what I was looking
Kind of
at.
terrifies me if I'm the Hera or the Merlin.
All right, so what are you at? You're at like game starts in.
Well, it's paused, so it's at 47 seconds for me.
Okay, that's what's that for me too.
It's
All
counting
right.
down now. 45, 44.
I'm still paused. I'm at 47, 46, 45,
Okay,
44, 43, 42, 41,
perfect.
40.
All right.
This has actually been going smoother than I thought when it comes to getting us on time.
Yeah, it's because I can pause, so it just makes it easy.
All right, so just some quick introductions, guys. This is a prospect game for the CGSL. So everybody here is going to be completely brand new to the league. There's no real set teams behind here where I introduce like HEO and OPE. So these teams are going to be different every time we go in. So it might be a little rough as far as who's playing what in what roles specifically, like as far as rolling off of our tongues, because there's going to be different players almost every time we do these prospect games. Let's see. An early invade from Kukulin. You see that?
Yeah, he's actually looking for the proxy. He knows he has a really good matchup in the Camazot, so he's gonna try to get his stacks for his passive as much as possible. Camazot's actually coming to fight him here is actually not good for Camazots because it's really just helping to call out more. Look at the dual lane. So I'm not really a fan of Bacchus Hera. Hera doesn't really generate pressure, and Bacchus is more of a setup god than anything else. So I'm not really liking this combo they got going on right now. If it works, then wow, I'd be very surprised. Colin
Yeah, I'm
though
a little on the
almost poked
fence.
out over there.
Hachi been real low, under half health right now.
Yeah, he's already actually used all of his pots. So the issue with going mana pots as an ADC in the dual lane is that you actually are using your autos more than your abilities. So having mana pots is actually more detrimental. Meanwhile, it's Oreo gets first blood on the Merlin right off the bat, showing his presence. That is not good for a team.
Yeah, we're what, not even a minute and 30 in, giving up first blood. Big yikes.
Yeah, if anything, that's what we expect from the Radtasker if doing like a 4 acorn rush. But Hanbat's getting that first blood. That's actually scary.
And Hachi's just getting poked out of these lanes.
Yeah, those mana pots aren't doing anything for him. He has full mana, but no health. You really need multi pots in this situation. It's like Rat's trying to box out this Hunbats a little bit. It's a little poked out. Looks like Hunbat's gonna go for these right mids, trying to make sure you take out these neutral camps as much as possible. Meanwhile, in solo
Oh,
lane, Colin's getting
yeah.
really poked out. Almost gets one-shotted by the Hunbat from the Camazots too.
It's actually a little surprising. Like I said, we've kind of figured the Kukulin was going to run the lane a little bit.
It's just he needs to really time his passive. If he times it wrong, he really loses his matchup. And the fact that he's letting his Camazots hit his twos on him all frequently is just really hurting him.
Hey, give me that. Bad. You just hear me yelling at Suku in the background.
I know. She's probably grabbing something, huh?
Yeah, she's chewing on my marker from my whiteboard. I'm like, no, don't do that.
Ooh, Bacchus almost lands the flop on the Hodgman. The Hodgman barely gets out just in time. And then blue team's doing a really good job at this mid camp control. Left mids are up, and Hunbats does notice this and just gonna go for them. Merlin did see the Hunbats go to them though. He's trying to stop this, trying to make sure he try to steal these. And unfortunately,
Uh,
he wasn't there just in time.
yeah, I don't think that was the ability to use either.
Wrong stance, unfortunately. If anything, you want to be an ice stance.
And for the most part, pretty slow start, which is how, your Smite games are usually supposed to go. Although we've kind of gotten spoiled with some of these games where we're seeing 4 or 5 kills in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, those are definitely playoff games for sure. With this kind of game where you're not really comfortable around the people you're playing with, and you're not really sure what to expect, it goes a lot slower. People just getting used to each other. And So's kind of pushed up by herself in lane, getting poke on Merlin. Almost destroys him with that ultimate. Ratchatcher barely misses the ult though. Scylla's almost one shot, has to Aegis to get away from the Ratchatcher, but it's not enough. Ratchatcher uses the flurry to secure the kill, and then Humbats as a counter rotation gets the Merlin in mid lane. A trade for trade in the mid lane for both mages. Ooh, and then Solan, you see Cohen do some big damage on that Camazotz, which is going to give him that totem. Really going to help him out because Hera's looking like she's a little bit low on mana, so definitely going to help out his dueling lane a lot.
Yeah, I was wondering. I've noticed. I feel like the ganking in the dual lane's been somewhat questionable the past few games that we've seen.
And speaking of big ganking, Hunbats comes in with a huge ultimate, followed by a Hachiman on the horse, and the wall from Yamojo is just not enough to secure the kill, and looks like both Hera and Bacchus get out just in time. Wow, that would have been really good if Yamojo positioned that ultimate a little better.
Be still.
And the Hachiman ult slows, correct, when it connects?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's a big fucking yikes for CC, even if it's just soft CC.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. It just came down to the positioning of the walls from Shimoja. If she positioned the walls correctly, they were trapped in there in almost like a death box. It looks like Riot Taft's going to go up in the air on those branches. He's trying to look for the Scylla. He does land his mark. He gets the knockup. Scylla is almost dead now, and the Acorn meets its match, and then Scylla goes down. But Hanbats is here to do some damage on this Merlin. Merlin beats is nothing, and gets away just fine. I really don't think he needed the beats there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was beat. I guess he was expecting the Hunbat's ult, but Hunbat's ult was down.
Yeah, that was still down for how long? Another 30 seconds?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's somewhere in like 2025, so I think it was. I'm not sure though, but that could come down to miscommunication between the team. Dual lane not communicating that Yamoja ult and Hunbat's ult and Hachiman all came out.
Yeah, so that just came down to their dual lane is not communicating to the mid lane.
Which that's our assumption, by the way. We don't actually know what's going on in comms.
Yeah,
so,
we're just kind of
maybe
guessing.
they are.
It could be also
What?
that he just mistimed the actual Hunbats all itself. It looks like Hunbats is coming back though, but he has all this time. Merlin, he knows Merlin has no beads. He can't really do anything to stop this, and still is trying to look for a big ultimate, but Bacchus using his flop to get out of there. And Merlin's gonna die without any beads, can't really do anything, and now he's down 0-3. He's not looking too hot right now. And you can see this is definitely a jungler heavy game. You see Hanbats 3-0 and then you see, and then meanwhile, Hanbats gets another kill, putting it at 4-0. Like I said, this is a jungler heavy game. You see just both the kills of both junglers. And
Who was our late fill? I want to say it was actually Nugs and Jugs that was our late. No, it's Haggerty, the Hera, who's listed actually as a mid player. So it's interesting to see her over in dual lane.
yeah, very interesting. And unfortunately, Ratatusker not being able to gank that Hachiman. Emoji coming in just in time to give him the heal. Ratatusker actually not paying attention. They saw that the red buff was up. Goes for the Oracles instead. No problem. Now there's going to be a 2v2 fight in mid. Merlin lost half his health to that overhand smash. That's some crazy damage from the Hunbats. That lead's doing so much for him. And meanwhile, Ratchaster's in the air looking for a kill on that Scylla. Scylla having to use Aegis to get out of there. She uses his 3 to get out just in time. Yamoji hits a huge ult, zoning out that Ratchasker, but it wasn't long enough. And now Merlin's in big trouble once again. He's one shot. He's trying to get out of there. Does he have Flicker? And he flickers just in time. And Camazotz misses the mark though. And Kakolin's here to make sure that the enemy cannot do anything else. But Hanbats now has ultimate, and Kakolin is in a bit off a little bit more Chew, and now he's going to go down instead.
He's looking for the Merlin. He's going to pick up the Merlin as well.
Oh my goodness. caught him lazy backing at the tier 2. And now that's a free goal free for blue team. Red team has vision on this, but I don't even think red team can even do anything about this. Hera has no ultimate. Oh wait, now she does. She does have ultimate. Is this going to be enough? Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Looks like blue team will be able to secure the gold fury. Argus was unfortunately not able to do enough damage. Secure that and steal it away. Good try though. Always a good try.
Yeah, I think she ulted just a little too early.
Yeah, if she waited just a second longer, I probably would have been a steal to be honest. Because you comboed that with her 2 as well. She definitely would have gotten a steal or maybe even a kill.
Right now we're seeing what a 10-minute mark. Blue team up by about 3k gold and 4 kills. Let's take a look at damage. Camazot's actually leading the game at damage.
Yeah, Kazal's being just like such a lane bully. I mean, Colin is a lane bully himself, but Kamazot just has so much better sustain than Colin. So he's just able to out-trade him so much better.
Yeah, speaking of that, this could be Kukulin dying. Or not.
Oh, then meanwhile in mid lane, Oreos is popping off, getting a lot of kills here in mid. He's looking for more, and Scylla
Oh,
hits the I'm a Monster and annihilates the Bacchus. Hanbat's looking really low, he's gonna try to get out here. He is caught on the ward, so Hera could rotate. And then meanwhile in solo lane, Camazotz cleans up the Kukulin, who could just not survive any longer.
so definitely expect to see red team either pick that Hunbats next game or ban him, because already
Yeah.
I'm sick of him if I'm red team. Already I'm like, yo, why is he on the board still?
Yeah, I mean, Combats has been such a strong pick. I mean, we've seen it in our playoff games. He's almost picked and banned every single game. It's just his presence in team fights is just so big that teams cannot ignore him.
I think he has so much potential to combo with other gods as well because of that team fighting ult.
Yeah, especially in this game with Scylla being the game. If you give her any sort of CC setup, she's gonna blow up anyone. It doesn't matter who.
Hunbat spying the rat.
Looks like there's gonna be a fight breaking out over here in this duo lane. Might be looking for something here. He does toss his threes for some damage, but he gets stunned out of the TP, unfortunately. He is trying to get some damage though on Radtasker. He has to be careful though. He might be caught out here. He does jump in aggressively though. Half health. And he might be in a bad spot here, but he lands the TP just in time, and he kills the Merlin before anyone can even do anything. Now Radtasker's in the air looking on this branch. He's trying to look for a kill, and meanwhile Hera gets taken out by Hachiman. And it looks like Radtasker actually going to land on the Hachiman by himself. Gonna have to dash out of there before he takes any more serious damage. And now blue team's gonna push down left and get a tier 1 tower. Really interesting that this Yamoja went Voidstone first item. Really strange. It's more like a bruiser kind of mage item, I would say. Um, Definitely not a traditional support item. I'm a big fan of Gauntlet in my opinion. Such a loaded stat item. And it's really hard to pass on that. And it's just so easy to stack as a support. And then meanwhile, as I was talking about it, looks like Exodus Infinity gets a kill on the Camazotz, who was actually a pretty big target.
They are going to get a free pyro out of it at the very least. Not
Yeah.
really, my opinion, worth the trade at that point for the Camazot's life, but at least a nice I can't even say the word, consolation prize. There we go.
Yeah, it is going to put Radtasker at almost even with the Hunbats, but Hunbats is just his price is just too big at this point. He's 8-0, level 14, highest level in the entire game. Someone needs to take him out. And it looks like he's going for a full cooldown build. He's going for that Hydra Star, going to a Hydra's Lament. He already has the Yun's Wrath, and the Transcend, which puts him at 30% CDR. He's going to finish it off with the Hydras, put him at 40%. So he'll be casting those ultimates every 40 seconds, which is going to be terrifying. And it looks like Hunbats is going to look to try to fight this Radtaster. Radtaster getting a lot of poke on Hunbats, and Flop barely missing its mark. Bacchus unfortunately cannot hit it. And now there's going to be a big fight around gold for you because one of these teams want this.
Stop. Get off of me. Get off of me.
It looks like Suku wants some of the action as well. And meanwhile, Bacchus flops on the Hunbats, gets some decent damage, but Hunbats just does too much damage. Marlon has to flicker in beads to get out of there. Hunbats almost pays the price. Bacchus almost blows him up there. Now Hunbats is going to have to go back to base. He's way too unhealthy.
Unhealthy, I like that.
Oh wow.
Nice. Ooh.
Celebrating some big damage. He uses the 3 to get out just in time, but Radtasker, he knows, and he's going to jump on the Scylla who has to ult out. She actually might get out here, and now Radtasker's in a really bad position. Hunbats is going to do so much damage to him, and now Hunbats aggressively jumps in with less than half health. What a madman. And then meanwhile, blue team trying to pull gold free. Kakon doesn't want any of it, and he actually might soul this Hachiman, who has to use Aegis and B just to get out. Bacchus, unfortunately, not being able to get the kill, and Kakon picks up the Hunbats. A huge kill for red team. But now it's a 2v2 around this gold free pit. Kamazaz is looking at this Hera who's below half health. She's going to be in big trouble here. Kamazaz finally picks up the kill. And now Kakon is by himself. Already half HP. Still doing so much damage. And now Kamazaz might finish him off. He's almost dead. He has less than 100 HP. And he jumps in place. Oh, can he live? Can he get out? It's not enough.
Nah, the moment he jumped in place, he killed himself. I don't know what the decision behind that was.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the up down jump right there. I guess if anything, he was trying to delay, but he was definitely dead to rights as soon as he did that. And now looks like blue team want to get this gold fury. This is not good. This is not good for red team. Soon there's going to be really strong minions pushing down these waves, and red team knows this and is trying to stop this from happening. Zones them away from the gold free before they can take it in time, but now Merlin's in a really bad spot, has to flicker out, but Bacchus uses his ult to zone away them, and now it looks like blue just is going to go right back to gold.
At the very least, now you have red team though, kind of in a position where they can hopefully defend it or steal it.
Radtaster's in the air, Harrow's in the back, looking for a big Argus ult, and it looks like, unfortunately, blue team are able to secure it, and Camus in the air, almost one-shot has to get out, and meanwhile on the back line, Hyatt Oreo says hello, gets a huge ultimate off of the back line, kills this Radtaster. Oh, Radtaster actually gets out with less than 20 HP. Oh my goodness, he's chasing him like a madman though, and he gets the kill, chasing him all the way down to the Phoenix. I can't believe he got that kill. And then actually Hachiman's about to get soloed by this Cohen. Oh, it's not looking good for Hachiman, and Hachiman goes down. But also in the back line, Hera gets 100 to 0'd by Scylla. Scylla damage is too much for Hera to handle. Hera is not, like I said, not a good pick into this comp. It's just she gets blown up by CC from the Hunbat ult. Scylla has free damage on her. She cannot move anywhere. And she's just a sitting duck.
Oh my goodness, I will be right back. Oh my goodness, let's go outside.
Alright, you have fun. And it looks like blue team's gonna take this opportunity to go to Pyromancer, take this lead into a further point. Particularly with the graphs, right after they get this, it looks like it's gonna put them at a 10k experience lead. That's gonna be very hard for red team to come back from. You have a 3-level lead on this Scylla. You have a 2-level lead on the Hunbats. 3-level lead on support. Thankfully, the solos are both even. Collins is doing a really good job keeping up with this Camazotz. Unfortunately, Red team just doesn't have an ADC. So even if they do come back, their chances of actually sieging are abysmal. The one thing they do have going for them though is that their siege defense is phenomenal. Hera being one of the best siege defense mages in the game. Merlin well set up for your Hera. You have Cullen to really harass and um, kill carries in the back line. It's a lot of damage, but it's very niche. The chances of it actually working in this game are close to none.
Alright, I am back. My Suku can't make her mind on what she wants to do.
I bet.
Dang, we're already 20 minutes into this game. It feels... I was expecting like the 15-minute mark.
Looks like it's gonna be a fight of these back camps. Not sure why both teams are fighting right here. Red team just needs to leave and farm. They're just really behind. They can't really fight this. And Cullen's trying to do all he can. Gets a triple man knockup. But it's just not enough, and he's about to get blown up here by Hunbats. Hunbats all hitting its mark and getting a huge zoning pressure for the blue team. And now Rathouser's in trouble as well. Camo's out in the air to try to apply some damage. He's going to chase after this Rathouse who has to blink out. And Hera dropping Argus to try to zone wave someone. But Bacchus is now left alone. Gets taken out by Oreo. He says hello once again. Merlin gets half out by Silicrush. He needs to be careful. He had to use both relics there just to survive. And now this might be a Phoenix Siege for blue team. Merlin's in a really bad spot. What is he doing? Why was Merlin up there? That's crazy. Both of his team were nowhere to be found, and he's trying to solo defend a Phoenix against 5 members. Never gonna work. If anything, you just gotta respect. You gotta respect the pressure from blue team.
Oh my goodness, watching them all go through that Yamoja.
The synergy. And now this is going to be a free fire giant for blue team, and it's going to solidify their lead that they have right now. You take a look at the graphs after that Phoenix. 11k experience, 10k gold. The chances of a red team coming back from this are 0%.
If they come back now, I'm going to make sure that's clipped that you say 0%.
Alright, go ahead.
Ugh.
Yeah, honestly, the only way that red team get back in this game is if blue team just troll. There's really no other way. Blue team has the game is in their hands. They can do whatever they want with this lead. They can throw it away and do nothing with it, and let let red team come back, or they just keep pushing it down red team's throats and win the game.
So I think ending a game has been a big issue for some players in the league. So from a prospect standpoint, being able to close out games quick, clean, it'd probably go a long way, as that has been a steadfast issue with some of the teams.
Yeah, it just comes down to this team's not really familiar with sieging. A lot of times games don't really go that long in the first place, and when they do, they're not really that well coordinated. So a lot of teams, especially in a scenario, definitely do not have experience sieging. And it looks like Hunbat's actually going to use his ultimate, trying to 100 to 0 this Merlin, and doesn't get away with it. 5 members able to take him down. What a weird play by him. And now red team are turning this around. Huge play by red team. Nearly takes out the entire blue team. Hachiman had to use the ult out. Yamoja gets 100 to 0. Now Hachiman is getting chased by Rathouser. Blinks in, and now Rathouser takes him out. But meanwhile, in the backline, Kilozot's actually cleans up the Hera. What a troll play from blue team. I'm not sure why Hunbats was solo ulting on Merlin. I think he was just seeing red.
So I think Kamazotz is doing a great job here. If I'm red team, honestly, you just leave him. Just buy. You gotta. I think it's Primal Fury that's down right now. Hey, go grab that. Grab something. Grab an objective. He's just trying to waste your time. And I don't even think they're on the same page. Maybe they are.
If I'm red team, I would be pushing down to this tier 2. And then that's when you can fall back to the Gold Fury. But it looks like
There's
Um,
some confusion. I'm
it
not
looks like
sure.
they
Ye-
want it. Half the team does want to do this tower, but it seems like the majority just want to do this gold tree. It looks like they seem a little bit scared to push down this left lane, which I do give them credit for that because they do not have an ADC, so pushing down objectives is going to be very difficult. You see how long it takes for them just to burn one objective. Unfortunately, that's why ADCs are so meta. You really need one for any sort of objective play in this game. I mean, sure, the red team has superior team fights and the completely better defense siege, but I don't think they'll ever be able to siege blue team.
I think it's going to come down to them actually getting a partial deicide, maybe an actual full-on deicide, and being able to take a Phoenix. I do have to agree. I think
Yeah,
if they're actually able to push blue team back, there's still just so much that blue team has as far as kit wise to be able to defend.
if red team is smart, they'll take a fight around Fire Giant, and that's probably their best chances of winning this game. Taking a fight at the enemy Phoenix is not going to go in their favor. And nothing going on too much right now. Looks like blue team is grouped up in this right side lane though. Looks like they're trying to push it down. It looks like they're stalling for Fire Giant at this point. Um, Enhanced Fire Giant does come up in 4 minutes. They could wait for that, or they could just get the normal Fire Giants coming up right now. Personally, if I was blue team, I would see if red team tries to get out of position in this right side jungle and get like a pick, maybe two picks instead of going for this Fire Giant. Enhanced Fire Giant is just so much superior. But it looks like they are going to go for the Fire Giant. Now, if they get this Fire Giant and the siege does not go successfully, if I could talk, yikes. The next Fire Giant won't be up until 31 minutes. So that would be their next window to get the enhanced. And if I were blue team, I would be grouping all in one lane right now. I do like how they're having the Camozots split a lane, trying to force the Rattasker to ult from the side lane instead of blinking in the mid and getting a free ult. And it looks like blue team's actually getting out pressured here. Hachiman almost dies, and now Kakawa's looking for more. Hachiman has the ages just to get out of there. Argus being dropped. Emoji using her ult to zone away the rest of the team. And it looks like Hachiman's going to get out scot-free today. And now Hachiman's using his ult for no reason. Zones away the team, but doesn't do anything with it. Now Rathasker is on his branches. She's looking for a pick, but I don't think there's anything there, buddy. You might want to go home.
Let's go look at wards real quick. Oh wow, Rat leading the game, 16 awards.
Wow, props to Rat right there.
Both 6 wards, 2 and 3.
Hachiman getting poked out once again. Looks like Camozots might be getting blown up here. Taking a lot of damage from this Phoenix and from the enemy red team. And now Cohen might be in a bad spot too. He's half health. Red team also noticed that there's minions sieging down left lane. This Phoenix might be in trouble. And now the fight's taken in the left lane now. Rat's dashing in. And it looks like Hanmas is going to get taken out here. What is blue team doing? They're throwing their lead away completely. Ark is being dropped. Hachiman's getting taken out because he has no relics. Kamazov might be in a bad position too, but the emotional was good enough to zone away the red team. But now they're looking for more. They might try to cut off their pathing here. Rod tries to try to heal up a little bit more. And they're trying to look for this Kamazov. They know he has no ultimate. Kamazov is now in a bad spot here. Gets flopped on by the Bacchus, and he's going to get taken out. This is not looking good for blue team. This is exactly the fight that red team wanted, and they're going to siege down and get this tower. Now, if I were red team, I would not go for Phoenix here. You do not have the structure push of a normal team. Getting a pick here, or just getting the tier 2 and then going mid to get the rest of the towers is definitely the better play.
It's actually really surprising to see. We're at 30 minutes now. It kind of felt like blue team. I mean, this honestly was blue team's game to lose, 100%. Like, it's just a little weird to see that red team's still alive and thriving.
Yeah, they're actually back in this game now. Particularly with the graphs, you can see that the goal difference actually is in favor of blue team now. They actually have a 9K lead after this goal free. Oh wait, my mistake. I was reading the graph wrong. So actually, the favor is still in blue team, but now the deficit's only 6K, which is honestly not that bad to deal with. 10K, a little bit hard to play into, but now 6K, that's an easy fight to win.
He said, "I'm reading the graph wrong."
But if we actually take a look at experience, red team is actually ahead of blue team. But at this point, I believe everyone's level 20, except for the supports. They're both even level 18. So right now, levels don't really matter too much. It's more about who has the most gold. So you would have to give favor to blue team, but right now they're not really doing anything with it. And then, like I said before, this fire giant enhanced is going to spawn at 31 minutes and 40 seconds. Um, this is going to be red team's opportunity to get them back in the game. If they get this fire giant, they can really seal it. Now the decision is whether they go for it or not. I think if they give this up, I think they lose. I think the fights have been going perfect for them because the fire giant was not strong enough for blue team to really get the picks they needed. And then also some really questionable plays from blue team. You see Hunbat's ult being used not in the correct way. He's been using it more of a zone than a kill potential than anything. And if anything, it's only been hitting a couple of targets. Also in these fights, Hachiman's been getting really poked out, and that is not good if you're trying to siege down a Phoenix. You do not want your only damage to objectives to be almost one shot. That is never good. Especially against a Rat Task Cullen. To me, that's a free kill if I'm Rat. I just dive the Hachiman. If it's ults down, he's dead. So it looks like it's going to be a free enhanced fire giant for blue team, which is going to be very scary for red team, but they will be trusting their siege defense to win them this game. It's going to be a little bit harder now that blue team does have the enhanced fire giant, giving a much more significant buff than they did before.
And I think the goal for red team is just play this safe, and let blue team make a mistake. Don't try to force them in anything. Just let them, outposition themselves. Something like let them make the mistake, and
Yeah.
red team needs to be prepared to capitalize on whatever that mistake is.
Yeah,
Merlin in a really dangerous position.
Yeah, he's in a really bad spot. He needs to get out of there now. He actually might be dead here. Hamad's gonna blink over the wall here. And he's
I don't
actually
know
gonna get
where
caught
he's
out.
going.
He's gonna get caught by the Scylla, and Rat's gonna try to save him. And Rat's actually gonna dive the Scylla, who's by herself. And he actually misses the mark, unfortunately. But meanwhile, in the background, Kakon almost souls the Hachiman, who has to use his horse to get out of there. That, and actually, they end up trading the Hachiman, which is really, really good for red team.
They've got minions coming in on that left Phoenix as well. It's not obviously it's not going to do anything serious, but it's probably going to draw everyone's attention back towards recalling.
Blue team is not playing these fights perfect at all. They did get the Merlin because Merlin was unfortunately horribly out of position there. I'm not sure why he was over in that left jungle. He really didn't need any levels. I guess he wanted to get the farm for Orb Shard, but his map awareness was just not there at the time, and blue team really capitalized off it.
It's
Um,
crazy too because if you look at the map, they have a ton of wards around that. Well, they did have a ton of wards around that. I guess Phoenix line. I guess that's just a term for it.
yeah, in that jungle area by red buff.
Yeah,
Yeah, really quite unfortunate. If Marlon wasn't caught out right there, that was probably a win by red team. They got the Hachiman. They got both his relics. They got his ultimate. Collins is doing a really good job of diving this Hachiman off cooldown. You see the Hunbats going for the back line as well. And then what Collins is doing, instead of worrying about who's diving his back line, he goes for their back line instead. And he's just diving whoever's trying to do the damage to the Phoenix, and it's been working out for him.
So I will say I feel like they might be rushing into this fight a little too much. You see Hachiman so far back.
Yeah, looks like they're trying to really force this Phoenix. They might be able to get it. But Phoenix is still half health, but Rat has to go up in the air. The Collins going to zone up the entire backline. Now Silla's in a really bad spot. Hunbats haven't used his ult to zone up the Ratcaster, but Ratcaster has beads to get out just in time. But Collins still picks up the kill on Silla. This is not good for blue team. And now Red might actually push this right into the blue team. And now Bacchus is here to do some really big damage. Ymoja's in a bad position. She can't get away from him. And now Hachiman's going to go down. This might be game.
Nah, there's no way. There's actually no way.
They just need to siege right down this middle lane. I also don't think they have the damage to these Phoenixes, though, to really actually end the game here, unfortunately. If they had an ADC, maybe. It looks like they will be going for gold for you, so they're going to play super, super safe. Which I can respect this call. I definitely would have taken a little bit more. Tier 2, which was definitely free, and a 5v3. You at least gotta get the majority of the towers off the map. Looks like they're just taking it piece by piece, though. Which is, you know, it's a very slow pace. But if it works, it works. And it looks like blue team's actually trying to catch red team out of position here. Hunbats is actually not paying attention. The entire red team is backing right here. And it looks like he's going to try to catch up this Merlin, but Hunbats actually is paying no attention. He wants the Hera instead. Hera's trapped now. Ymoja traps this Hera in between both her waves, and she's going to go down. That's the anti-siege weapon down. This could be looking good for blue team. Now all members of blue are up because unfortunately red team were lazy backing in their own jungle. Now Rat's gonna go in the air. He's gonna try to zone wave. Who knows? And it looks like blue team do catch this on the map, and it looks like they're gonna just reset for the Ratcaster ultimate. Really smart move from blue team. Now Ratcaster rolled down. The only thing that's really stopping blue team here is this Kakalin. This Kakalin needs to be on top of these carries. Hachiman's gonna be a little bit late. He will be here in a few seconds though. Once Hachiman is here, then it looks like blue team's gonna go in for a fight. They need to hurry up though. Hera's almost up here. They might be able to change this fight around if Hera gets up in time. It looks like Camazot's just trying to dive this Merlin. Unfortunately misses the mark, and Ymoja tries to zone to the Kakalin, who gets out just in time. Hunbat's a little bit late on the ultimate, gets blown up by the Bacchus, and gets traded out for the Ratcaster. But here comes Kakalin doing massive damage to the backline. He's doing tons of damage. Hera is finally here. Hera is finally here, almost destroying their backline. Bacchus cleaning up everyone, and now Merlin's here to clean up this Camazotz. And does the Camazotz fall? Can he get out? He actually might be able to get out here. Looks like Hera doesn't want that. She wants the Scylla. Fortunately, Scylla just out trading her, unfortunately. But Merlin looks like he wants something, and he will. He gets the Ymoja who he caught with his flicker. Really nice job by the Merlin. And now this is a Fire Giant call for red team. This is definitely a Fire Giant call. If they reset, get their tanks back to full HP, this is definitely a Fire Giant call. This could swing the momentum right here. If I were blue team, I would be really scared.
I don't know. I think blue team's lack of fear is kind of what's costing them this game.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they're kind of charging in, forcing things a little too much. They're also not pushing in the correct time. Like I said, during that one siege, Hachiman took a little bit too long to get to that Phoenix, so they couldn't take it in time, and Hera was able to get up just in time to defend and clean up the team. And now, like I said, red team was looking for this Fire Giant. They want this. I think blue team has to give it up.
No, I
Looks
think
like
they can. I think they
red
can
team's a little
contest at the very least.
red team's a little bit spaced out here. Rathhouser's in a really bad spot. He's gonna have to dash out of here, but he might be looked at by this Humbats. And now red team are walking away. I'm very surprised. They're giving up Fire Giant.
There's no way.
They must be
They have
really
a ward
scared.
on it. Their ward just went out on it, but they had the ward on it. Now
I
it's
think
blue
I,
team.
I think they honestly lost their opportunity when Emoji came up. They definitely should have took the opportunity when they had that fight before. But now I don't think this Fire Giant's possible.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the goal of it is. There's a lot of warding coming out of blue team, so they're pretty much set up and prepared now.
And it seems like there's a lot of hesitation from both teams. I think both teams here are really not sure of what the game plan is.
Yo, there are 4 players with more than 10 wards. Rat has 23.
If you actually take a look at the player damage, Cohen is leading by a mile, 11k over the Blues' #1 damage dealer. It's insane. Cohen is really the driving force for Red Team right now.
Yeah, the big knock right now though is that the next 3 players are all blue team members.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this hero is not doing what she needs to be doing. She gets blown up by all the CC and damage from Blue Team. Like I said, this hero pick was not the play. It's good on these siege defenses. It's keeping them in this game, I will admit. But they can't do anything outside of that. They're just relying on Blue Team trolling these sieges.
So one thing to note, the Hera and the Merlin are actually in the opposite roles. Initially, it was supposed to be the Merlin at ADC and the Hera in mid, and the Haggerty ended up filling in for the mid that couldn't show up, and I guess they just kind of swapped the rosters a little bit, which we'll see if they swap it back.
And
Double kill
then,
there from
meanwhile, Ratchhauser gets a huge cleanup on the Fire Giant. This is looking like a very good fight for Red Team. They're going to push their lead even more. Humbats having used the ult just to get away from these guys. They're looking so scary, and now they're looking for more. They might even try to push down this left side tower, but instead they're going to play it safe. They're going to go for this Fire Giant. They know they can get this for free now. This is a really good spot for Red Team. Blue Team understands this. They want to try to stop this from happening, and it looks like this Camazotz and this Emoji are going to try to zone away this Red Team. But I'm not sure if they can do anything. Humbat's all is down. Emoji all is down. There's nothing to really stop him from doing this. The Red Team have full control here, but Ratchasker out of position gets blown up by the Humbats. This is not looking good now for Red Team. But oh my goodness, what a play from Hera over the wall with her 2 hits the Humbats and Kakawan cleans them up. Now if I were a Red Team, I would just reset and go straight back to fire. Looks like there are some pings right now. They are pinging out this Camazotz. They do have an eye on him. Not sure what the game plan is right now. Looks like they do want to go for the Primal Fury and get that that buff stack. They definitely want to do some more damage against this Fire Giant. For those of you who don't know what Primal Fury does, it enhances the damage you do to all jungle camps and jungle bosses. So that includes Gold Furies and Fire Giants and Pyromancers. And it stacks 3 times. 7% each time, so a total of 21% total. So if you get that 3 times, that is a really easy to kill Fire Giant, even if it's enhanced. So really smart play by Red Team to grab that. And it looks like Kakal might be actually out of position here. 4 members had left, sieging down the Phoenix. Looks like he might be just fine. He's pretty tanky, honestly. And now Kakon actually blinks in over here. Really aggressive play from Red Team. And looks like they want more. The Ratchauser's in the air. Might be trying to dive this Scylla. But now Scylla's looking for Iron Monster. Misses the mark, unfortunately. And now this is going to be a great fight for Red Team. But
What a
actually, Kakawan gets taken out and so does Merlin. The fight gets turned around immediately. And a trade happens. The Hodgman does go down. But now Bacchus is the next target for Blue Team. He might go down here. Kem's going to go in the air. Going to kill him with the ultimate, and now Harris and Ratchasker are the only one left. This is not looking good for Red Team. This Hera is gonna go down here. The CC and the damage is too much for her, and that's honestly game for red team. All members except for Radhouse are down. Radhouse can't really do much. Blinks in half HP, gets blown up immediately. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. You gotta go back and heal, my dude. And now this is game. What a game.
All right, let me make sure I get the stat line for Bo real quick, and we're gonna have one more game. It is only a 2-game set for prospect games, just like the CGSL regular season. The playoffs and going forward are your best of 3 and your best of 5, and then next season moving forward, best of 3 will be in regular season. Go ahead and grab this stat line real quick. $53. Okay, let me send that to Bo so I don't forget. All right, let me restart this real quick. And we'll be all right. Let's quickly load back in here, and I'll let them know. If you want to hop in, start spectating whoever now. Whoever, I think you were Nugs to Jugs, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop on real quick, and let me let them know I'm ready. All right, should be loading the picks and bans right now.
Yep.
Yeah, real quick shout out JW Awesome for the follow, a Ace Flamingo for the follow, although that was 9 hours ago. Bill Ab for the follow, it was 2 hours ago, and Tanky Tactics, that was 17 minutes ago. Shout out to all you guys for the follows. It really helps us grow CleDG. So real quick, let me see if they're gonna actually swap people to the right positions or not. So far, Hunbats is not off the board.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Looks like red team actually skipped a ban. And looks like they're gonna get Isis and Emoji. That's a pretty scary comp. And now blue team is gonna take away the Hunbats. Big problem from last game, so and Serket. That is actually looking very scary for this for the ISIS. So much,
It really comes down to how well Ace Flamingo can actually execute on Serket, in my opinion.
yeah. If he can hit that taunt and hit that ultimate, then that's all he needs to do. If you just kill that ISIS, then red team is honestly they're donezo.
Yeah, so leaving the emoji again. A little torn on that.
Looks like red team answered back with Fenrir. I understand that all three blue team picks right now have no CC immunity, so it's gonna be an easy pick for Fenrir. Being able to free ult pretty much anyone on the enemy team. Looks like blue team want to take away all the safe hunters for red team, so they have nothing to worry about when they're diving this back line.
All right, here we see some of the trading going around now. Is that a solo Kali?
It might be.
Pretty sure it is. I think Oreo's the jungler. That's a little questionable.
If you know that you can definitely outplay your solo lane opponent, it's not the worst thing to do. But I'm not a big fan. You're not gonna have a lot of sustain in that solo lane.
He's playing at what, Hades? I want to say.
Yeah, he's definitely not gonna be able to solo Hades. Hades just has too much sustain for him to handle. If Hades,
I think maybe the thought process is because it's warrior. Maybe he's just trying to hella dive in the mid to late game. So I didn't know if they had the prospect games numbered or not because they've been doing them on Cluedy TV. So I just named it Prospect Game 1.
Unfortunate.
Just waiting to get in now. Haggerty playing the Kukulkan as well. Oh, yo, do want to point this out now. You see Haggerty is on the Kukulkan, Nugs and Jugs is on the Chiron. So as I was bringing up, Nugs and Jugs was supposed to be playing ADC last game, and Haggerty was supposed to be playing mid last game. And for one reason or another, whether it was miscommunication or not, Haggerty was playing the Hera and ADC, or in dual lane. Hopefully they get that corrected a little bit. And one of the big reasons that is an issue for us that I've continually brought it up is when the teams were made, and Ruth put a lot of this together, teams were balanced as far as lane matchup goes. That was the goal. So like I believe it was like I think if it's Lil Chevy that's in Diamond, or it might be Stinky that's in Diamond, and then it was Haggerty who's in Plat, I want to say. So like the teams just matched up a bit better than like I think it was like a gold player playing into like a masters ish player
Hmm.
somewhere around there, gold and a diamond. So like hopefully we'll see things balance out a bit more for blue team to where they're not just on the ropes for the majority of the game and then somehow turn it around at the end of the game.
So definitely both these teams are just looking for picks in these team fights. I mean, we see Isis, Poseidon, and Kali, Fenrir, Druid is looking to dive the back line and kill as many carries as they can and blow up anyone who gets in their way, tanks included. Poseidon doing a really good job of doing that. Isis is going to be really good at securing objectives. But then you have Blue Team, who has probably one of the best zoning ults in the game, Hunbats, and then they have Serket to pick off really any carry they deem see fit.
What
Goodness.
time are you at? What time are you at?
56, 55.
I'm at 57, 56, 55, 54, 53,
Okay,
52,
perfect.
51, 50.
And then you just have Kukulkan with objective secure. Not sure if they can out secure an ISIS, however. Um, but it's gonna be damn near
And
close.
Poseidon.
Oh yeah, and Poseidon. So you have Isis and Poseidon ult to secure objectives, which is going to be quite terrifying, honestly.
Yeah, you think that that's going to work really well. Hopefully, you'll think that that's going to work really well with the Emoja ult. And then, I mean, like, even like to build on top of that, you have a Fenrir to bring people into your ult as well. So,
I would say
should
if
see a.
a blue team plays their comp really well and they pressure out this Kali in the early game, I would definitely give it the blue team. But if they let this Kali kind of just do what she wants, and she actually is able to get online, I think it's going to be GG for blue.
Well, I feel like it's almost begging for the Hunbats to come over and gank as early as he can. Once he's comfortable to go in that lane and try to pick that Kali, I feel like that's almost what they're asking for with this comp.
Or at least have the Serket do it as well. She can do a
Well, look,
really good job of doing it.
speaking of Serket, look at her.
Yeah, she's looking for an invade, and they actually spot her out. Fenrir does spot this. Looks like Emoja's gonna rotate. She might not actually be able to get this. They do reset the speed buff. Right now, her goal is just to make sure they stall out this jungler. But how? Fenrir is doing a lot of damage. She will have to dash out, and she might just stay here just to harass the Fenrir, make sure he can't actually farm safely. Looks like Emoja is gonna stick around though and help out her Fenrir. Now this isn't the best spot for Emoja. She really just needs to leave and go back to lane. But anything, she's just putting the Fenrir further behind. Now Fenrir is not gonna hit level 2. She split those back camps. And they also triple split the speed buff, so he's actually not going to hit level 2 until he gets a wave. So maybe blue team can do something with that right here.
They got to recognize it first.
If anything, I would honestly pick off this Fender. Hamas by himself, he's taking a lot of poke. Now it looks like they're going to let Fender hit level 2. They're not even going to go for the invade. Crazy. You think with the Serket, Kukulkan, and Hunbats, you think they at least try to go for something with a level lead, right? These names switched up. Looks like Fender is trying to kick this duo lane. He sees his Chiron. He might actually be able to get the kill, and he does get the purple buff though. And he's gonna try to get out immediately. He does get some poke though in response, but that's a purple buff taken away from Chiron. That's a win in my book. And now Fender is gonna be able to solo this purple buff, which can put him on par with Hunbats. So he's gonna go back to base. He's only be able to afford choose tier 1, which is not the best back for him. He definitely could have stayed a little bit longer for his speed buff. And honestly, back camps were up as well. He could have went to back camps and straight to speed buff, putting him at level 3, and then at least tier 2 boots. Tier 1 boots is probably one of the worst backs in the game. If you're backing for T1 shoes, you're just wasting your time.
So it's more of a last resort kind of decision.
Yeah, it's just if you have no mana, no health, and you're kind of forced to back, then yeah, definitely you just have to go home, and you have to live with it. But if you have the option, definitely not the best back.
Gank and solo.
Yeah, Hayes is not looking like he's in a good spot here, and yeah, Moja makes sure that the kill is secured. Isis is here as well. They might even pick up this Hunbats if Isis lands her too. And looks like Emoja does land the stun. Hunbat's getting stunned out here, but Serket taunt was perfect enough to zone away the red team. But now Fender's looking for more. He's gonna look for this blue buff. They're just taking off everything off the map right now. But Hazy's back. He TP back to lane. They might be able to get something here, but Emoji's a little bit too tanky, and Serket's getting really poked out here. But now Fender is back, and Hayes doesn't have a dash yet. And he's gonna go down again. It's TP gone. No blue buff. This is not looking good for Hades.
Yeah, we actually, like, at least at the very beginning, kind of felt like this was going to be his lane to run. And it's not looking like it anymore.
Yeah, this puts him in a really awkward position. Not only is he missing the entire wave in solo lane, putting him a level behind the Kali, but he also won't be able to get his tier 2 boots, which he desperately needs. And not only that, his TP is gone. He has no more TP. So, gold lead, still not that much of a difference. It's definitely more of an experience game than anything else. Experience a little bit in favor of blue. Surprisingly so, with how the game's been going. Ooh, Poseidon, unfortunately, missing his mark on that Poseidon Kraken. Way off. Not sure where he was trying to hit.
Oh, it's going to be Kali. She's going to beads out.
And that's why she got beads. She did not want to deal with that Hades at all.
I thought Hunbats was possibly looking at a blink. Instead, he's just going to ult the Fenrir here.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do much there. Really strange decision by the Hunbats to ult the Fenrir. Definitely cannot 100-0 Fenrir. And now Hayes is in a horrible spot. He gets Fenrir ulted, and now Kali's going to pick up this kill.
Now, if he had that ult right there, that could have been a different story. But the fact that he used it, I don't know, man, that's just rough.
And now Kukulkan is looking for a big kill here, and he gets it. He gets barrel snuffed by the Dragon ultimate. Good rotation by the Kukulkan. This Hades is just getting put behind so much this game. Only being able to buy shoes. He is not feeling good about the solo lane right now. He's ruined. He needs to just get himself together here, reset himself, and try to get back in this game. Because right now he is heavily behind in gold.
He's fighting again.
He's actually able to out-trade the Kali. Fortunately for him, Hades is really good at boxing in the solo lane. The heal was just too much. But Fenrir has come back, but this time he does have the ultimate. It looks like Kali will have to jump out. Hades is in... Oh, and he actually picks up the Fenrir. The Blight was too strong for the enemy to handle. So Fenrir gets taken out here. And now Humbats is actually looking to clean up this Kali here. Kali, he knows that Kali has no ultimate, and he does have ultimate, and he blinks in, gets the perfect CC, perfect kill. And now this is a big turnaround for the solo lane. This is exactly what Hades needed. And that's a tower as well. That just lets Hades kind of just free roam the jungle at this point. Looks like they are to go middle. They want to kill this Isis, maybe even this Emoja if they can. Emoja does have ultimate, however. Actually, no, she doesn't. Neither of them have ultimates. This is not looking good for Red Team right now. And the shell does come out from Red Team. Shell will be used to try to make sure nothing happens there in the mid lane. Definitely could have gotten a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised with how effective the Hades has been, even though he's kind of fallen behind. Like, he just picked fights and won them.
That's just the power of Hades. And then while we're talking, it looks like Chiron slows the Poseidon under his tower. I guess Poseidon got a little bit too greedy there. And it looks like Chiron's gonna take the opportunity to get the purple buff and then take it away before anyone else can steal it. He is calling this ward though, so Red Team does know the positioning of Chiron. Farron's gonna be in this mid lane. Not sure if he's trying to look for something, but Hades is looking for a rotation here. Looks like he's just gonna place a ward. Really strange rotation by the Hades. I don't think he really needed to do that just for a ward. But I guess he had nothing else better to do. He could have been pressuring out the blue buff, which is quite unfortunate. I guess he just didn't know when the timer was. And looks like Humbats is going to de-ward that ward in the top right where Hades put it. Moch's doing a massive damage to that Culkin, half healthing him with 2 abilities. What a dumb character. Looks like Humbats almost got caught out there, but we'll have to use his jump to get away. Very slow pace once again. And meanwhile, in mid lane, Isis and Emoji all use to blow up Kukulkan, who's by himself, can't do anything, stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Man, he had nowhere to go. And now Hunbats is on dual lane, look for this half up Poseidon. Fender is ghosting him, so he knows where he's at. He's trying to make sure he look for a counter engage here. Hunbats does not want to take this fight. Even though he's a level up on this Fender, he cannot kill him if he's not careful. Now Fender does get out in time, but Serket does use his ultimate. The Ymochio might be just enough, and the shell being used by Red Team, so it looks like Fender won't be able to get out here. So that is 4 ultimates down for Blue Team. That is a win for Red.
I feel like this Kali is taking a bunch of unnecessary damage.
Yeah, she did go the Golden Blade start. Not a big fan of that. Golden Blade not really the best on Kali. and not really good as a solo lane item. As it gives her the AoE on the autos, but she still
Oh,
has no damage. And meanwhile, in the dual lane, while I was talking about that, once again, looks like Poseidon got a little bit too greedy again, trying to dive the Chiron under his tower. Gets killed again. Yikes.
oh, and this could be Isis going down in mid. We see the Aegis.
And she's definitely in a tough pickle, but unfortunately, Koken Ultimate was not able to meet. And it looks like he will be out pressured here, and Ice is able to return the kill, but unfortunately gets traded out. Hanbats was there to clean it up, and now Hades is here. He's trying to look to do something here in mid. Not sure if he can do anything though. He doesn't have ultimate just yet, just about 20 more seconds out until his ultimate. It looks like Fender is going to try to return this on the Chiron. Chiron having to use ult just to make sure he survives, and he's actually going to be able to live here. And now Yamoja's in a really bad spot, gets ulted by the Hunbets and the Circuit. Last breath finishing her off.
Not a good Poseidon ult.
Yeah, he definitely should have saved that. That fight was already over. This could be a goal for your call by blue team. Fenrir does know this is up. He will be zoned by the Hades though. Almost just annihilated by the Hades. Blight 2 OP. But now Poseidon is here. But Poseidon can't do anything. But he's able to kill the Chiron. But he trades himself out. Hades ult was just too much for him to handle. And blue team will secure this. Kakalkanol was actually a little bit late. Not securing the gold tree. And because of that, Isis was able to secure the kill on Circuit. Really unfortunate play. Vulcan might be in a bad spot here. He will have to tornado his way out of that. And the only thing Red Team can get out of that is back camps. And a tier 1 tower in solo. Not the best trade you want, but it's a trade they're gonna have to get. It looks like Hades once more. He's dashing on this mid lane, but he's by himself 1v3. He actually is gonna get Isis
Pops the
ulted.
thorns.
But not sure why she dropped the Isis ultimate in the first place. I guess there's a miscommunication with the Kali and the Isis.
Oh, this is gonna be bye-bye Kali more than
Yeah,
likely.
she just gets CC chained into oblivion, just blown up. And meanwhile on the backline, Hunbats gets a huge ultimate, and Chiron and Hunbats clean it up. No problem, easy peasy. Wow, what a huge fight for a blue team. This is a tier 1 mid tower right here. This is a 9-day game of what we saw last time. It was a little bit rough around the start. Hayes kind of played a little the early game a little bit poorly, and then oh my goodness, the damage was too much for Poseidon and gets blown up by Kukulkan ultimate. Circuit taunt is too strong for Red Team to handle. Like I said, as long as Circuit can land those taunts, these fights should be free. Circuit is a squishy killer. She can kill anyone on that enemy team. The Isis, the Kali, the Fenrir, the Poseidon, they're all just sitting ducks to her. Particularly with the graphs here, heavy in favor of blue team. 6K experience difference. Levels mean everything in this game. Gold not so much. 4K in favor of blue team. Honestly, still winnable fights for red. They're just trolling it a little bit. They're really getting picked in these backline fights. They're not paying attention to where the Hunbats is at, and he's getting these huge ultimates off. Pretty much a what we saw from last game from Oreo's Hunbats. Now Hunbats has a 2-level lead on this Fenrir. Fenrir did go Crusher, and looks like he's going to go into a Void Shield, and in the dual lane, we'll be able to pick up the kill on the Chiron, but it looks like he might trade himself out, actually. Circuit is just... he just need to nerf this god.
What is Poseidon building? I feel like that ult landed and it didn't do a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's going straight in the Jeva ISO, which is honestly a terrible choice as Poseidon. I mean, your goal as Poseidon is to really blow up any tanks or carries. Having the extra slow on your abilities really does nothing against the enemy team. Jumbo ISO is honestly not
And
really in a good spot right now in the meta anyway. So rushing it right off the bat, you only have 90 power. That is not a lot compared to having, say, a Doom Orb, which gives you 145. I mean, it's just not a good build. Even
yeah, I'm
Pythax would have been
actually
better.
really surprised just to see him not building fucking Doom Orb.
Yeah, and the movement speed, the power, the mana, the movement speed passive. I mean, it's just so hard not to get it.
Maybe like I don't know, not the right thought process, but maybe the thought process is Poseidon already has a passive for movement speed, so I don't need it.
I don't like that.
That
I movement speed percentages stack, and the higher it
oh, I
is, the
agree.
harder it is to chase down that Poseidon. So the more movement speed he
I'm just tr-
has, he's just gonna be unkillable at that point. You can't chase him down. He has enough damage to 100 to 0 any of your teammates. It's just such a weird
yeah.
option. I do like how it has health and CCR, so it's a good defensive item. But just to have it on as like a first item choice to start off your game is just it's ugly. To me, that's just a blemish in his build right now, and it's really dragging him down.
Hopefully, it's something that he can adjust going forward in future games. At least like right now, definitely do more would have been the play. I can't speak for after season 7 or when season 7 starts. I can't speak for that.
And Hades and
Oh
Hunbats
my
really showing
god!
why you can never fight them together. Crazy CC chaining. You get pulled in by the Hades ult, and then Hunbat CCs you, so you can't go anywhere. You are stuck. What a massive combo. Honestly, this blue team's draft is really starting to synergize. And then you throw a Culkin Tornado on top of it with a Culkin ult, you're guaranteeing a kill on anyone in that pool from Hades. It's what a deadly combo.
So Pyro's about to come up. Let's see if this is going to draw attention towards Fire Giant. We're at about the 20-minute mark, which is where we saw the last Fire Giant taken, right? I
Yes,
want
it
to
was at
say that's when
21
we saw it.
minutes.
Yeah.
If anything, if I were blue, I would just look for picking this jungle right here and try to go for Fire Giant. Honestly, Pyromancer is just it's just another stepping stone.
There's the Fenrir jump. I think they missed a little bit of their opportunity there. They might be able to catch Kali though.
Kali is by herself. 4 members are already looking at her. Looks like she's gonna reset. She is trying to get in this backline though. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it.
Ooh.
Emoji's gonna use their ult, and Hades once again ulting, and they will be able to secure the Pyromancer. But now Chiron's in a really bad position. He might actually go down here. Kali's looking. She's looking for a pick. The blink is available, and she will secure the
And she
jump.
gets it.
But now Fenrir's looking for Hades, but he misses the bite. But Yamoja's here, 1 HP, secures the stun. What a play from Yamoja. You had to have balls of steel to stay with 1 HP. That is a team player right there. Oh no, Kali might be in a bad spot here. She will have to use her ult to survive, or she might have went down there. And
We saw the shell pop.
she will be able to get out just fine.
And then over to dual lane real quick. We have a Poseidon split pushing.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just does not have the damage to really take out that Phoenix. A little bit early, my friend. Now you're in a really bad
Late
spot.
Aegis.
And he wastes his Aegis, and he will fall here. He is going to use the Kraken as well. How much is he going to use? And he still falls. Not the moves from Poseidon. Really just pretty much wasted all his entire kit to just not die for a second longer. That's a win for blue
Yeah,
team.
so definitely some good advice for Stinky Pinky, which is the Poseidon. Just try to keep an eye on your build a little bit more. Try to follow meta and a little bit more map awareness. I want to say because you were there out of position way too long, in my opinion. Outside of that, though, like just keep doing what you're doing. You got both your towers.
Hmm. And really be a little bit more smart about your relic usage. If you know you're gonna go down and there's nothing you can do about it, no matter what you have, what options you have in your kit, you might also not use any of them and go down for free. That way you have those options later for a better fight. And it looks like Chiron's in a really bad spot here. Fenrir letting the jump doesn't unfortunately hit the brutalize, and we'll have to use it defensively to get out from the Kukulkan damage. And looks like a Kukulkan is also going for Hajima ISO as
Ooh, we have a
well.
DC.
And it looks like the Kukulkan actually DC'd.
Let's see if anything's being said about it in the chat.
I'm just really not a fan of Gemma ISO in general. Building it on anyone is just a waste of an item. There's just so many better options. There's Ethereal Staff, Soul Reaver, Soul Gem. I mean, going for just an item that I was actually nerfed recently only gives you 90 power, 200 health, which sounds like a lot on paper, but in reality doesn't really do much for you defensively. 10% crowd control, which was 20% before the nerf. Not really a lot of CCR. That's not even like 0.3 seconds off of a 1 second stun. Not really good. And then the passive is enemies hit by your damaging abilities would move 20% slower for 1 second. That is not good. 20% slow for 1 second? That is abysmal. Having this item on anyone is just not good. I would rather have an ethereal staff if you want something defensive. If you want something that applies a little bit more pressure, you could definitely go more of a Soul Reaver. You can go a Poly. I mean, something that really just helps Kukulkan's passive. Because remember, Kulkin, it's kind of like a mini Book of Thoth. If you have mana on your items, they get transitioned into power for Kukulkan. So having a health item on a Kukulkan is just not really good for his kit.
So this is going to be a little bit of a long pause. Um, so the person who DC'd literally is not able to connect to Xbox right now. Here's the message that they're getting. Your network is good, but there's some Xbox service issues. Sorry, it's on our end. So we'll see. I told him to give it one more reset. If he's not able to get in after a hard reset, then we'll probably have to call the game here, which is super unfortunate.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely don't want to end the game on a sour note, but it is what it is. It happens.
So real quick, let me just go ahead and run like a 30-second ad while we wait to see if that's gonna hop up. That way you guys aren't sitting on the same thing. He said, Did you try blowing in the cartridge?
Blowing the cartridge.
It's only 1 in the morning.
That's getting a little bit late.
Let us see what happens. Ooh, what I can actually do right now is pull up all. Done. Oh, he said it's loading now.
Yeah, see what happens.
So you are not in a game. Says he's back on the network. He's just waiting to load in to see if Smite's gonna pop up. So fingers crossed. Blue team lives. It looks like. Haggerty should be back in any minute. The only bad thing I think that could come of this is if it doesn't load him back into the game itself. Like if it just loads him onto Smite. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I don't really know how Smite handles that actually, to be honest.
It's pretty much a coin flip.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah. It's either it works or it
Pretty much
doesn't.
coin flip.
You never know.
All right, he's in the party starting soon. Blue team's gonna unpause as soon as he's actually in. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Still not in the lobby. No word yet.
Unfortunate.
He's still not back in the lobby. Extremely unfortunate. Oh, he's been. He's in. So I will actually still hopefully be able to get stat lines from this. And then everybody was in the chat asking, obviously you should already know by now, but yes, it was paused. I'm not in a position where I can see my chat and the screen because the UI is fucking small and tiny, so I gotta actually get up next to my fucking TV to read it. So I'm honestly like a little interested to see if that long of a pause is gonna have any effect on the momentum that blue team had generated.
Yeah, that might actually switch the momentum in favor of red team, and they might have found themselves together and might be able to turn this game around for them. Because right now, even though that they're up in gold, how these fights are going, they are not winning this game.
Was it Onia it's about to pop up?
Yeah, this is a big gold free for whatever team that gets it. So Cat's gonna zone out the Emoja. Poseidon having to use his beads to get away from the Hunbat's ult. And that's a huge win for blue team. They know that Poseidon has no beads, so he's a free dive, and he's gonna have to back base. They're gonna pull his gold free. They're doing exactly just that. And now Kali's trying to look at their calls like a ruckus in the back line. She almost gets 100 to 0'd. She might be able to get out of here. And no, the Chiron was able to snipe his way into getting a kill there, but now he's in a really bad position and he's gonna get killed and traded by the Fenrir, and then the Hades actually gets blown up by the Isis all in the background. This is a good fight for red team.
Oh, what a big ult from Kukulkan.
Yeah, secures
Haggerty, man.
secure
TC's comes back.
secures a
Big
kill
ult.
on Fenrir, but fortunately Emoja is able to trade another kill for red team. But this is still in favor for red. They might be able to do goal free now with Poseidon available. Looks like this will be a goal free for red team. Very huge.
I was kind of expecting Serket to try to poker nose over there.
Looks like she couldn't get there in time.
I think she chose not to be honest. I think she kind of like hovered a little bit and then just decided it's not worth it. Pyro's up, fire's up. I think that's the priority. If Serket would have died trying to go around gold, I think that would have just really set them back. Hades is a little out of position right now.
Looks like it's not going to hurt him too much. So right now both teams will be looking around this Fire Giant pit, either a Pyromancer or a Fire Giant. They do also want to look for picks, because like I said before, they are pick-heavy teams, so they definitely want to look for a fight before anything else. It looks like Cat's going to try to go on this Isis, but she won't be able to get there in time. Isis is going to be able to group up with their teammates. You can definitely tell what blue team wants. They want this Isis dead. If they can, they want to get rid of the Kali as well. Maybe in the Poseidon. Looks like their priority is going to be on this Isis. Isis doesn't have beads for 20.
All the way over there by himself. Not really gaining any pressure from a split push here.
This isn't actually Gonna have Serket in a bad position. She's gonna get picked off immediately. Now this is a 3v5 over in this Fire Giant area. This is not looking good for blue team. I think Kyron should have been here. Not sure why he needed to farm that left wave. If he just needed an item. He will be picking up a Crusher as his 5th item. Really questionable choice. Crusher falls off really hard late game. If anything, you want to sell this item by your 5th or 6th slot. Really strange pickup by Chiron. Definitely could have went more of a bruiser hunter build. He could have went the Blood Forge. And it looks like Fire Giant will be picked up by red team. So this is going to look like a good fight for red. And now they're going to pick up the Culkin as well. He uses ultimate a little late to get the Fire Giant. But it looks like blue team still want more. They still want to fight this. Oh, looks like they had to jump out. Too much damage coming from red team. Now Kaiwa's in a really bad spot, rotating late and put him in a really bad position. And now Chiron
Oh.
having to use his Aegis and beads, but it's not enough. Fenrir able to collapse on him and clean up the kill.
And blue team's just all over the place right now, and I don't know what is going on. I don't know if Chiron didn't communicate that he wasn't there. Please tell me it was not another DC. Why are we paused?
Oh no. But yeah, like we said, looks like that pause really switched the momentum for the teams. Blue team really had a lot of momentum going for them, and then after that pause, it was like a 180 almost. Now it's heavily in favor of red team.
So Haggerty hasn't been able to buy items or use abilities, I guess, since he died from rejoining the game.
How so?
So I don't know. That's just what he said in the chat. I don't know.
It was weird. I saw him using abilities.
Yeah, we saw him use the Kukulkan and all, which is where it's maybe I don't know. I think it might have been after he died at Fire Giant.
Hmm.
Regardless, just for all the viewers at home watching, so you guys know, pauses in prospect games are kind of like I don't know if I don't know if I'm using a proper word here, but they're pretty lax. Like I want to say they're niche. I don't think that's the proper word, but they're pretty lax. So you can kind of just, as long as we're not in a rush, we'll allow most pauses to happen in prospect games. We're just trying to get people in games and playing. I'm not trying to rush anybody. It's not really like any what's the word I'm looking for here? Any fallback or it's terrible because I can see the word in my head, but I can't. I don't know what it is. There's no repercussions. There we go. There's really no repercussions from winning or losing these games. They're literally just prospect games for captains to try to evaluate players on. So like we're not too worried about rushing in and out of these games. But in actual league games, teams are allowed 3 3-minute pauses, or in total up to 1 9-minute pause.
It looks like red team has minions going in the Phoenix right now. Fenrir's gonna jump on this Hunbass. He's gonna do a lot of damage to him. He's gonna have to jump out. And this looks like it's gonna be a free Phoenix for a red team. Phoenix has to go down. Now it looks like red team are gonna go for this right side tower. They're gonna take even more off the board. Honestly here, yep, I was back. Spend your gold. Because currently, uh, majority of these guys on red team have like 3k gold in their pockets. So spending this gold is gonna be huge for them. Looks like Poseidon will get the Ethereal Staff. Really good pickup for him. Helps him with the CCR from the taunts and the other CC abilities on the team. Slows especially. Now Ice is full build. Rod Tahuti, Soul Reaver, do more. She's gonna be doing massive damage to these carries. Looks like red team's gonna be playing around this gold free. They do seem like they want it.
I'm a little confused what Cirquette's over here doing. I don't know what her level is, unfortunately. Let me pull it up.
She is level 18.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense now. I'm like, why is she just over here farming?
Like
Because we're like 30 minutes
she's
in.
trying to get that last breath max ranked. So she can be a little bit more potent in these fights.
And red team's just going to get primal, like, completely uncontested.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing that blue team can really do about that. They are behind in items, and you can see the Kukulkan, almost a full item behind the Isis. At this point, I would put my faith in my Kukulkan and my Hunbats to really defend these Phoenixes. But it looks like red team is going to be here before blue can even get there. Oh!
Oh, big
Big
Kukulkan. Big
Kukulkan
Hades
ultimate.
ult.
And now Hayes is in the back line ulting their carries. And now
Oh,
Kyron's going to
Chiron
clean
picks
it
up.
up. This is a huge fight for blue team. Now, Kali actually gets a kill on Hades, but unfortunately, the Vortex from Kukulkan is going to clean her up. And now, down 3 members, blue team could do something with this. If I were blue team, I would get these towers just off the map. Get tier 1 on duo, get tier 2, go to mid, get that tier 2, reset back, get Pyro, reset, go to Fire Giant.
Fire Giant's up in about 40 seconds.
I really must.
Zulu, you're killing me, man. You're killing me.
Looks like Circuit will finally be able to hit level 20. It looks like Kukulkan will also be able to finish his build out. He does have 1600 gold, so he's only be able to get a tier 2 of an item of whatever he wishes. Let's see what he gets here. He might go for a Soul Reaver, which honestly would probably be the best choice. Mana equals power, like I said before. And it looks like he will go the Book of Souls, so he will be going the Soul Reaver route. If anything, I would sell that Gemma ISO for another a book.
Then red team's melting Fire Giant right now.
Yeah, that's an enhance as well. So if they get this, this is gonna be huge for them.
Yeah, they do get it completely uncontested. I was actually a little confused there for a second when you said Book of Souls. I was like, I've never heard of that item before. It's a tier 2, right?
Yeah, it's tier 2 of Book of Thoth. But he's probably gonna go into a Soul Reaver, maybe even a Poly. But if anything, I would be selling this Gem of ISO for your Poly. You really don't need this Gem of ISO and Cuckoo. Applying a slow to any of these characters on the red team is just useless. You're not looking to chase down anyone. You're a pick heavy comp. You're looking just to apply a lot of CC and get kills and blow up squishies. You're not really looking to chase as red team or as blue team, I mean. And if anything, your Hunbats and your Hades are really just applying all the CC you need to do your damage. So having Gem of ISO is just redundant. It's like,
Ooh, Fenrir in a really bad spot.
yeah, he's gonna use all his entire kit just to get out of there. The Kukulkan barely misses the ult, and it looks like Fenrir and Poseidon are low in the background. Isis is now in a really bad spot. He's gonna get ulted by Hades, have to use both her beats and Aegis, but it's not enough. Kukulkan follows up with the perfect damage, and now Kalo is gonna go down as well. This is not looking good for red team. 2 members down already, and with enhanced Fire Giant in hand. Looks like it won't be enough. Now, blue teams are taking this opportunity to take all these towers off the map. If I were blue team, I would split up my team right here. I would have 3 go left and get middle tower as well, and then 2 go right by themselves and push out the wave getting pushed heavily down the right lane.
Instead, it looks like they're just. Excuse me. Instead, it looks like they're just gonna try to siege mid.
And this is not the worst
Not
call.
the best beside that.
Not the worst call. Looks like red team is going to trade 2 kills. That is huge for red team. That is honestly the most optimal play they can look for right there. And it looks like Fenrir is actually going to live. Emoja is saving his life. 1 HP almost.
The next fire giant comes up in about 2 minutes, and I think unless the game ends before then, that's gonna be the deciding factor is who grabs that fire giant.
Honestly, red team really need these sieges to go a lot better. If another mistake like that happens and red team ends up losing more than 3 members, that's going to be... That might be even be game.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to if they lose 3 members, who they lose.
Exactly. Looks like Hayes, though, is in a really bad spot. He actually dashes in. What a madman.
Oh!
But a huge Kukulkanol actually makes up for it. Gets a double kill. Huge Kukulkanol. Now Kali's actually looking to dive this. What is she doing? She's actually going to dive to the last breath there. But no, Hunbots is actually the one that's going to clean it up. Last breath, unfortunately, not able to last long enough to do the damage. 3 members down, Fenrir and Poseidon up. This is not the worst case scenario for red team, as they were able to trade out the Hades at least. It looks like
There's a bunch of you saw that pinging, right?
yeah, they were calling out the Poseidon.
Which I don't think is the play. They want the Poseidon to rotate in, I guess, to defend the Fenrir. But again, that is not the play. The Poseidon is really your best anti-siege weapon right now. He does not need to be risking his life to save Fenrir.
And looks like it's gonna be like another people kill each other, and unfortunately, blue team's not gonna get anything out of it.
Like I said, I feel like right now this fire giant that's coming up, that, like I said, that this is what the game's gonna revolve around. Whoever walks away with this, as long as there's not heavy losses, they're probably winning the game off.
I definitely think that blue team should defend this. I mean, they have the comp to defend fire giants. They definitely should be on this fire giant. They should be looking for a pick right here in this jungle. Hunbats is unfortunately by himself. So Cat really needs to be initiating these fights here for blue team. They should be looking at this Fenrir here, who's by himself out of position, and she will be looking at
they're
him.
going on an ISIS.
It looks like they're actually split. The split call actually cost blue team, and ISIS will get a double kill out of it.
Yeah, we saw Poseidon ult, ISIS ult, and Emoja ult come out there.
Yeah, not really good. The split decision to go after Poseidon and ISIS really hurt blue team because it split the damage even. So
They honestly, red team should have gone to fire. I don't know how I feel about this siege right
They
here.
actually might be able to end the game here if they play their cards right. It's only 3 members, 5 versus 3, and they will be able to pick up the Chiron. It's a lot of damage, and Kalkin's able to pick up the ISIS, which is honestly your only way to end this game right here. But it looks like Red are going to try it nonetheless. Serket and Kukulkan's still alive. Can they stop this siege from happening? If Titan's getting destroyed,
I don't think they can.
and it looks like Kali's actually been able to secure the win for them because she's just immune, taking that Titan all day. And it looks like Red Team are going to secure the win 2-0.
Yeah, big surprise. I thought blue team had it in the bag there for a second. I feel like once Chiron got picked and killed there on the Phoenix, that was the game, because it's like the Chiron and the Kukulkan together is what I was accounting for a lot of their defense. And I didn't see the Kukulkan tornado. I didn't see a Chiron all. I don't know if his alt was up or not.
Unfortunately, it came down to them just not pathing together. The moment the Chiron kind of split off from his teammates, he just put himself in a bad spot.
I'm gonna have to take screenshots of this for Bo for statistics. So I literally had to send to myself what time each stat sheet pops up at. And that is going to be the last game we have for tonight. Overall, really solid game for both teams. Just looking over at the stats and builds right now. Yeah, I don't know why that Crusher came out as late as it did.
Yeah, that was a really bad pickup by Chiron. If that was a Blood
I mean,
Forge, if that was just anything else, a Titan's Bane, I mean, it would have helped his build so much more.
I'm kind of partial. I'm kind of partial on the brawlers as well.
Yeah, Chiron's not really the best at applying it, so picking it up on him isn't really the best. I mean, sure, if you land a massive Chiron one and you can brawler essentially as many targets as you want, but actually applying it in a team fight is just so difficult that it's just really a niche pickup of Chiron than anything else.
Yeah, but he only had 2 attack speed items.
If
So,
anything,
and one of
if he
them's like,
wanted anti-heal, he should have went for a Toxic Blade.
I like the Circuit build. Relic Dagger. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, Relic Dagger are a really strong item for heavy dive supports. You see it a lot on like gods like Erlang, Serket, who really use blinks to just initiate fights.
All right, so that is going to wrap up tonight, guys. I don't want to say I will have prospect games tomorrow because I don't know, but I will assume that we'll have prospect games tomorrow. So just pay attention to the Discord. It'll be posted in there what time or if there will be. Um, and yeah, that's going to wrap up tonight, guys. Feel free to tune in tomorrow. You want to show some support, give us a like, a follow, a sub. We got a Twitter, we got a Twitch, we got a YouTube. Most of that should be linked down below. If it's not, it's linked in the Discord. And enjoy the rest of your night, guys. And shout out Davies again for coming into cast just for a prospect game. Yeah.
Yep,